Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Wives Union. I hope everyone's having a good day. Please like, comment, and subscribe for daily updates. Sister Wives, Paedon Brown breaks silence on Kody, Christine spills more on Robyn's favoritism. Fans have scrutinized the Brown family's lives for over a decade, but just when they think they've seen everything, a fresh revelation surfaces. This time, the focus is on Christine Brown's only son, Paedon, often nicknamed Pawn, who has been candid enough to reveal the uncomfortable truths behind the fractured household. In addition to his candor, Christine herself continues to reveal the favoritism Kody showed Robyn, providing a narrative that highlights the profound fractures in this once famous plural marriage. Paedon speaks out, no grudges, but no reconciliation. Recently, Paedon took to social media to address the pressing inquiries from fans regarding his relationship with his father, Kody. His words carried a mix of candor, finality, and a strange kind of peace. When asked if he and Kody had spoken since Garrison's passing, Paedon didn't hesitate. "The last time I talked to him was at the funeral." He explained that while the exchange could have been worse, it was not the reconciliation some might have hoped for. "It went the way it did," he admitted. Paedon's statement confirmed what many long suspected, that the rift between him and Kody remains wide. He clarified, however, that he doesn't carry grudges. He insists he has forgiven everyone, including Meri, whom he has previously accused of abusive behavior, and even Robyn, whom fans often believe he subtly shades. Forgiveness, however, does not mean reconnection. Paedon made it clear he has no desire to rebuild what is broken. Mother's Day message sparks speculation. Earlier this year, Paedon stirred controversy with his Mother's Day post, in which he honored all the mothers, but appeared to omit one. Fans immediately speculated that the jab was aimed at Meri, his estranged stepmother, or Robyn, whom he frequently criticizes for Kody's favoritism. Paedon quickly clarified that he wasn't excluding anyone in particular and that the post wasn't meant as shade. Still, given the Brown family's history and his own blunt reputation, many viewers believe his words were carefully chosen, leaving room for interpretation. Garrison's death and the weight of absence. The family's grief deepened in March 2024 when Garrison Brown tragically passed away. His death brought the family together physically, but emotionally, the divisions were clear. Paedon revealed that even at the funeral, there was tension. While Kody attended, his presence didn't mend wounds. Instead, it underscored just how estranged he is from many of his older children. For fans, this moment highlighted a sad reality. Not even the loss of a son and brother could bridge the gaps Kody had allowed to form through years of absence and favoritism. Christine's memoir, A Mirror into Favoritism. While Paedon offers insight into the fractured relationship between father and children, Christine continues to share her side of the marriage in her book Sister Wife, a memoir of faith, family, and finding freedom. In her latest work, Christine details the subtle and not-so-subtle ways Kody prioritized Robyn over his original wives. Small traditions and shared rituals that once bonded the family quickly shifted in Robyn's favor. One striking example involved Meri's traditional Thanksgiving turkey, a dish Kody had long adored. Once Robyn made the same dish, his praise went entirely to her, leaving Meri sidelined. Christine also revealed double standards in Kody's rules. He expected his other wives to follow strict religious garment practices but conveniently dropped them when he and Robyn went on their honeymoon. Meanwhile, Robyn's obsession with appearances was indulged, with producers asked to film her carefully so she always looked perfect on camera. Christine's tone in the book isn't bitter, it's reflective. She shares these details to explain the emotional neglect she and the other wives experienced, not to wallow in resentment. Fans who've read her memoir describe it as both heartbreaking and validating. It puts words to the favoritism they already sensed on screen. Kody's hunt for a new wife. In teasers for Season 20, Kody hints at his desire to bring a new wife into the family. He confided in Robyn about the women allegedly interested in joining, but fans noted Robyn's visible discomfort. She appeared anything but thrilled at the thought of reopening the door to plural marriage. Christine, when asked about the possibility, was blunt, "I hope not, because what they have is a soulmate situation. They really do." Her words reflected both disbelief and a measure of pity. She suggested Kody would be sabotaging the only solid bond he has left if he pursued more wives. A patriarch without a family. The image of Kody as a strong patriarch has crumbled. Once the proud husband of 4, he now stands with only Robyn by his side, estranged from many of his children and losing credibility with fans who once admired his commitment to plural family ideals. Christine has remarried and embraced happiness with David Woolley. Janelle focuses on her independence and closeness with her children. Meri has redefined herself outside the Brown family, finally free of years of emotional turmoil. Robyn remains but increasingly looks isolated with Kody. For Paedon and his siblings, Kody is no longer the central figure. He is, at best, a distant presence whose absence in their lives speaks louder than any apology ever could. Conclusion: forgiveness without return. Paedon's remarks underscore the deepening fractures within the Brown family that viewers have already sensed. His willingness to move forward without his father, coupled with his forgiveness, speaks volumes about the impact of years of neglect. Meanwhile, Christine's memoir provides a more comprehensive view, revealing instances of favoritism that undermine the foundation of her marriage. Together, their voices dismantle the myth of a united Brown family and expose the painful truths that unfolded behind the cameras. The Browns may continue to appear on Sister Wives, but fans now know that much of the real story comes from the voices of those who walked away. Paedon has made peace on his terms, Christine has reclaimed her life, and Kody is left to reckon with the ruins of the family he once led. I know what I wanted. I wanted this family. I wanted too much for my Sister Wives. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Please hit the subscribe button and give this episode a thumbs up. Paedon Brown finally broke his silence on his current dynamics with dad Kody Brown. He just revealed whether things have improved between them. The Sister Wives star also spoke candidly about his dad's relationship with the other kids. People called Kody an absentee dad because he didn't spend much time with his older children. He left his kids, Christine, Janelle, and Meri, whom he has with other women. 1. Explore how the absence of older children affects family gatherings and interactions. 2. Discuss the evolving relationship between Paedon and his father, Kody, and how it influences the family unit. 3. Analyze how recent changes in relationships have impacted younger siblings or step-siblings. 4. Investigate the methods used by the family to maintain communication despite physical separations. 5. Reflect on how individual family members' choices shape the overall family dynamics and future interactions. The TLC star prioritized his relationship with his favorite wife, Robyn, and her children over all other family responsibilities. In Season 20, Kody will probably try to say sorry to his ex-girlfriends and ex-boyfriends for what he did wrong. His admirers are therefore curious as to whether he made any attempts to strengthen his relationship with his children. What did Paedon talk about? What's the truth? Sister Wives' Kody Brown doesn't hold grudges for anyone from his past. Paedon Brown shocked fans with his witty Mother's Day post this year. He wished all the mothers except one. So, people thought the Sister Wives star made fun of his stepmother, Meri Brown. Paedon and the latter never got along very well. He opened up about her abusive and toxic nature several times. Many viewers also felt the TLC star was taking a jab at Robyn Brown. However, Don made it clear he wasn't targeting any specific person through his post. He didn't exclude anyone in particular and holds no grudge with anyone at all. The TLC star claimed he has forgiven everyone from his past and moved on. Brown also explained that the thoughts don't cross his mind anymore and he doesn't think about them. Still, viewers felt he was throwing shade at Robyn through his post. Sister Wives Don shares an update on the relationship with Kody. Christine Brown's son Don Brown often talks about the family drama. He doesn't hesitate to throw shade at his dad Kody Brown and his favorite wife, Robyn Brown. The TLC star has some shocking details to reveal ahead of the Season 20 premiere. Recently, Don went live on TikTok to address all the questions about his family dynamics. A YouTube channel without a crystal ball shared everything he said about his relationship with Kody Brown. The TLC star claimed that he hasn't talked to his dad since the funeral of his brother, Jerison Brown. In March 2024, Paedon lost his brother, and the entire family gathered together to honor him. He stated, A. Would you hate it if I did talk to him? B. No, the last time I talked to him was a while ago. The Sister Wives star explained that the only physical conversation he had with his dad for the last time was at the funeral, but Paedon didn't want to talk about it. The weight of loss can often leave us speechless, as Paedon experienced in the wake of his brother's passing in March 2024. Surrounded by family who came together to honor the memory of a cherished life, the atmosphere was both heavy with grief and filled with the warmth of shared memories. The final physical conversation Paedon had with his father took place at the funeral, a poignant moment that underscored the fragility of life and the deep connections within their family. Yet, despite this gathering, Paedon found himself reluctant to delve into discussions about his profound loss, illustrating how grief can create a barrier that isolates even those who are closest. In navigating this emotional landscape, he highlights not only the complexities of mourning but also the enduring bonds that continue to shape our lives, even in moments when words seem insufficient. He hinted at the drama that happened between him and Kody at the funeral. The TLC star added, "It didn't go the way it could have gone, but it went a lot better than it could have gone, so it went the way it went." Paedon's words made it clear that he doesn't have any interest in maintaining his relationship with his dad. Christine asked Kody to make some actual efforts for his kids if he really feels sorry about his mistakes in the trailers. Fans are curious to know whether he really makes any efforts. Sister Wives. Christine shares subtle details on Kody's favoritism for Robyn in her book. Sister Wives star Christine Brown has moved on from Kody Brown and their polygamous marriage, but she isn't afraid to talk about her experience with fans. The TLC star launched her book, Sister Wife, the memoir of faith, family, and finding freedom. Fans were excited to read Christine's latest publication. She spilled a lot about her polygamous marriage in her previous book. As a result, fans eagerly anticipated learning more about her experiences with the Brown family in this book. The reality TV star shared all the subtle details of Kody and Robyn's bond, which changed the entire dynamics. Christine revealed how things changed over the years, and Kody valued his trophy wife over the OG women. She divulged numerous surprising and uncomfortable details that pulled her away from Kody Brown. What did she share? How did fans react? Sister Wives. Christine reacts to Kody's hunt for a new wife. Kody Brown will likely showcase his hunt for a new wife on season 20. In the recent teases, he discussed all the women interested in joining his family. The Sister Wives star conveyed the knowledge to his only remaining wife, Robyn. However, the latter wasn't too delighted with the news. Fans saw that she wasn't pleased to go back to polygamy. Hence, Christine also reacted to the subject during her interview on The Sarah Fraser Show. She couldn't wrap her mind around the news because she feels Kody and Robyn are soulmates. The TLC diva stated, "I hope not, because what they have is a soulmate situation. They really do. But that's not all." Christine believed her ex would spoil something amazing by going back to polygamy. Sister Wives. Christine writes about how Kody favors some people over others in her book. Christine Brown always makes fun of Kody and Robyn. She has entirely moved on from her relationship with more than one person. The diva of TLC wants to tell her fans about her life. Christine recently released her book, in which she talked a lot about what it's like to be a sister wife. A fan read the book and highlighted several instances where Christine mentioned that Kody preferred Robyn over the other wives. The Sister Wives star discussed how much her ex liked Meri's turkey before Robyn Brown came along. But Robyn quickly took this moment from Meri and made turkey for her husband. Christine also talked about how her ex told her to wear clothes even under a wetsuit, but Robyn and her ex didn't do that on their honeymoon. She talked about how the other person was obsessed with makeup. The reality TV star said that Kody's favorite wife was always ready for the camera, while the other wives cooked, took care of the kids, and did other things. Christine told Tim Gibbons to be careful when he recorded her sister wife because she wanted to look like a good person on camera. Fans saw how hard her marriage was and how Kody emotionally drained his original wives. One fan said, "I love when she said, 'I'm not your wife,' after she left." Another user couldn't believe Robyn asked the crew to hide her true face so people would like her. Many fans also pointed out that Kody left Christine after Truly's birth for his 11-day-long trip with Robyn. The Brown family has weathered more storms than most families ever face in a lifetime, and their story has unfolded for years in front of the world. Yet, even now, as the family continues to fracture and reshape itself, new revelations keep surfacing. This time it's Christine Brown's only son, Paedon, who has decided to break his silence. Known for his unfiltered honesty, Paedon is not one to sugarcoat the truth. Over the weekend, he took to social media to answer questions that fans have been desperately asking since the passing of his brother Garrison. Chief among them, where does he stand with his father, Kody Brown? Is there any path toward reconciliation? Or have the wounds cut too deep? The legacy of a broken household, the Brown family's reputation has shifted dramatically over the years. Once portrayed as a plural family working hard to balance love, unity, and faith, the cracks eventually showed. Viewers watched as Christine walked away. Janelle followed her lead, and Meri finally chose independence. That left Robyn as the sole wife still standing beside Kody. But the fallout hasn't just been about marriages ending. The true damage has played out in the relationships between Kody and his children. His absence for many of their lives. His visible favoritism toward Robyn and her kids and his inability to nurture bonds equally have all left scars. And now Paedon has confirmed what many feared. The rift with his father remains wide. A rare glimpse into Paedon's perspective during a recent live stream. Paedon was asked directly about his father. Fans wanted clarity. Do they speak? Is there healing happening behind the scenes, or is the relationship completely severed? His answer was simple but carried heavy weight. "The last time I spoke to my dad was at Garrison's funeral," he said, leaving no doubt that communication has ceased. Paedon went further, admitting that the exchange wasn't easy. "It didn't go the way it could have gone," he confessed, "but it went better than it might have gone. It just went the way it went." These words, vague yet telling, suggest that tension was present even on the day the family came together to mourn. In a moment when grief should have united them, unresolved issues instead lingered in the air. The shadow of Garrison's passing. Garrison's death earlier this year shook the family to its core. The loss of a young man filled with so much potential is a wound that will never fully heal. For Janelle, it was a devastating blow as a mother. For the siblings, it was a heartbreaking reminder of how fragile life is. Yet, even in the face of tragedy, divisions within the family remained. Paedon's words reveal that instead of Garrison's funeral becoming a chance for reconciliation, it highlighted just how fractured things had become. Kody may have shown up physically, but whether he showed up emotionally is another story. Forgiveness without reconnection. One of the more surprising elements of Paedon's comments was his insistence that he holds no grudges. Over the years, he's been candid about painful memories involving Meri and has openly criticized his father's choices. But now, he insists that he's moved beyond harboring bitterness. "I don't carry grudges," he explained. "I've forgiven everyone. I don't sit around thinking about it anymore." For some, that might sound like a step toward healing. But for Paedon, forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. His statement makes it clear. Just because he's not holding on to anger, doesn't mean he has any desire to rebuild what was broken. The door, at least for now, remains closed. Fans interpret his silence, of course. Paedon's vague wording left fans reading between the lines. His Mother's Day message earlier this year stirred controversy after he chose to celebrate all mothers without explicitly including certain figures. Many assumed he was throwing shade at Robyn. Others believed Meri was the target. Paedon brushed off the speculation, insisting he wasn't excluding anyone specifically. Still, his choice of words, combined with his complicated family history, fueled theories that he was making subtle digs. Social media lit up with discussions about whether he was being diplomatic or simply too clever to name names outright. The strained role of a patriarch. The bigger question hovering over all of this is what role Kody now plays in his family. Once the leader of a large and united plural household, he is now the husband of only one wife. Estranged from many of his older children and struggling to rebuild bonds he neglected. Christine has moved on and remarried. Living a life of joy and freedom she never seemed to find in her marriage. Janelle has focused on independence, building her own path while also being close to her children. Meri has redefined herself, stepping away from the pain of her past and embracing new beginnings. That leaves Kody and Robyn in a marriage that, while presented as strong, often appears isolated. Without his broader family around him, the patriarch role he once embraced now looks hollow. His children, particularly those from his earlier marriages, no longer seem to view him as a central figure in their lives. The possibility of apologies in previews for the upcoming season. Christine is seen urging Kody to make amends with his children. "If you're really sorry, show them," she tells him. It's a moment that resonated with fans who have long criticized him for offering words without action. But will he listen? Paedon's revelation suggests otherwise. If Kody has reached out, Paedon hasn't responded. If Kody hasn't made the effort, then the silence speaks volumes. Either way, the chasm between father and son appears as wide as ever. The weight of absence when asked why the relationship fell apart. Fans don't need to look far. During the pandemic, Kody distanced himself from most of his family and chose to stay primarily with Robyn and her children. What may have been intended as caution in a health crisis came across as favoritism, reinforcing long-held feelings of neglect among his older kids. Paedon, along with many siblings, felt abandoned. That absence left wounds that words alone cannot heal. And now, years later, those choices continue to echo. A family still in transition, the Browns today are not the Browns viewers first met. They are a family still reeling from losses. Loss of faith in their patriarch, loss of unity, and most painfully the loss of Garrison. Each member is carving out a new identity, redefining what family means to them. Christine radiates happiness in her remarried life. Janelle leans into her children and grandchildren for comfort and purpose. Meri embraces empowerment and self-discovery. Robyn clings to the husband she still has while Kody attempts to prove he's still relevant whether on television or through new projects. And then there's Paedon, who continues to straddle two worlds. One where he's willing to forgive, and another where he refuses to re-engage with those who caused harm. Conclusion: a son's truth in a fractured legacy. Paedon Brown's latest comments are not just about a strained father-son relationship. They're about the deeper fractures that run through the entire Brown family. They speak to the consequences of neglect, favoritism, and broken promises. He has chosen forgiveness, but not reconnection. He has chosen to move forward without his father rather than wait for the relationship to change. And in doing so, he has given fans a rare, unfiltered glimpse into what life is really like for the children who grew up under Kody's roof. The Browns may continue to share their story on television, but it's voices like Paedon's that cut through the narrative and reveal the truth. Some wounds heal, but others leave scars too deep to ignore. For now, Paedon has made it clear he's not holding on to anger, but he's also not holding on to his father. And that may be the clearest statement yet about the reality of the Brown family today. Christine Brown may have walked away from her plural marriage years ago, but she has not walked away from her voice. Today, she is thriving as a wife, mother, and entrepreneur. Yet, she continues to peel back layers of her past for those who followed her story for over a decade on Sister Wives. With the release of her powerful book, Sister Wife, a memoir of faith, family, and finding freedom, Christine is offering more than just anecdotes. She is sharing the truth about what it was like to watch her husband Cody Brown prioritize one wife above the others. While Christine has moved forward, marrying David Woolley and embracing an entirely new chapter of life filled with happiness and independence, she is still candid about the subtle and sometimes not so subtle favoritism that defined her last years in the family. Fans of Sister Wives have long speculated about how much of what they saw on camera reflected the real story. Christine's words finally confirm what many already sensed. Cody's attachment to Robyn shifted the balance of the family. And once that change took root, the original wives never stood a chance. Christine's memoir hits home for fans. Christine's latest work arrived at a time when viewers were already reeling from the fallout of Season 19 and gearing up for what promises to be a dramatic Season 20. With the Brown family fractured beyond repair, the timing of her book could not be more perfect. Readers dove into her stories with curiosity, eager to see how she framed her marriage in retrospect now that she is completely free of it. In her memoir, Christine shares details that outsiders might have overlooked, but for those inside the family, they were glaring signs of favoritism. She does not dwell on bitterness. Instead, she tells her story with the clarity of someone who has processed her pain, found healing, and is willing to give others insight into the warning signs of emotional neglect. She speaks not only about the obvious ways Cody chose Robyn, but also about the everyday gestures that built a wall between him and the women who had been by his side long before Robyn entered the picture. From shared traditions to stolen moments, one of the most poignant memories Christine describes is about food. A seemingly small detail that in truth symbolized much more. For years, Meri prepared a traditional Thanksgiving dish that Cody adored. It was part of their rhythm as a family, one of the many little things that held meaning. But when Robyn entered the family, she prepared the same dish and immediately became the center of Cody's praise. Christine recalls how that moment crystallized the shift. The traditions of the original wives no longer mattered if Robyn could offer a shinier version. For Christine, it wasn't about a recipe. It was about respect. She recognized that Robyn was allowed to step into spaces that had belonged to the other wives for years. And instead of sharing those spaces, Cody encouraged the takeover. Feel free to share any video requests in the comments. I'll try to make a video about it. Stay connected with the Wives Union for all the latest updates, spoilers, and deep dive recaps. See you in the next video. Stay safe and healthy. May God keep you safe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell button for daily updates.